Hey Kai, nice to hear from you, mate. Sorry it's been taking me so bloody long to do this, and I've managed to grab a bit of time. You can see a bit short-staffed at the moment, so my next job in a minute is to sit on that buggy and get some range balls in. So 7 o'clock in the morning. I've been up for about 4 hours because the 2-year-old's been keeping me up last night, so I'm a bit knackered. But I've been trying to do this all week. It's been a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, I did make some notes the other day, as you can see just there. And I've had a little look through the video, but I just hadn't had a chance to sort of reply back to you. But I thought the best thing to do, rather than write a massive long email, is to do a video back sort of thing. So I've got on the screen here, I've got sort of the video if we need it. I've got my notes over there, so I'm gonna do it off the cuff. So I'm just gonna pop the camera on the side, and hopefully you can hear me okay. Where's the best place to put this? I will put it just there. Let's have a look. Won't be a sec. Here we go. Okay, so right, so really good, mate. You're getting lots of speed into the ball. You're hitting a lot of balls there, I can see, because it's a very repetitive action. But yeah, obviously there's a few things we need to do, and it'd be a good experiment doing this, actually. I don't think I've ever done this with anyone before online and sort of doing it by video, so it'd be interesting to see progression. And I thought the first thing we could do is sort of look at the whole picture. If I try to explain the whole thing of what's going on, and then maybe just come up with maybe one, two, three things maybe that you can do for as long as you can, you know, for I don't know how many balls you're going to hit in between sessions. You can send videos as and when, and I'll try and get back to you. Obviously it's taken me just over a week, I think, to get back to you this time, but hopefully it would be a little bit quicker next time. I shouldn't say that, because obviously I was trying to be quick this time. So I thought, right, let's get an over it. If I go through the whole thing of what I'm seeing, and then we sort of come out with a bit of a plan as to what needs to be the area of focus. So I'll tell you what was quite interesting was looking at your swing from this angle. The first thing I think, Kai, right, when you take your grip, I think you've got to get out of the habit of looking at your hands on the club, because what's happening as when you look down, it makes you sort of almost get into a bit of a bow position with the head, and also that means this left arm isn't actually in a hanging position as you take hold of the club, because you're looking at it. So it's one of those things, actually. I can remember when you used to come for lessons, you used to ask me about my grip. What about my grip? Is my left hand grip okay? Is my left hand grip okay? And so I think it was one of those things that you wanted to really focus on, and I think your left hand grip is okay, and I think 99.9% of coaches would look at the left hand grip and wouldn't think anything of it. But I kind of look at it and just see a position through the arm that is created from you looking at it. So for example, as you bow down in to look at your grip on the hand, the thumb kind of always, instead of the arm being here as it comes into the club, and which is basically straight down from the shoulder, on the angle straight down, not out. A lot of people get confused with that. So straight down because it's hanging from the posture. From this angle, it should be comfortably straight. So not, I can bend it still, but it's not bowed. And I kind of always get this impression as you put your hand onto the club, that's exaggerating it, but I can sort of see that there's this sort of swan neck, I sort of call it. And then it's very difficult to get this thumb knuckle at the top here and the thumbnail at the bottom, kind of it. I always think when you look at the top players, they all look as though that knuckle is kind of almost across the right hand side of the grip, this side, rather than that side. That's probably one of the most common things I see actually in lessons, is people sort of hold it too much, sort of not, it's quite in the palm, but it's a very weak hold, and it makes the left arm very, very immobile, I would say. It puts the emphasis all in the right hand. And of course you can see a lot of it as you come into impact. You probably slowed it down. You can sort of see that all comes from this position to start with. So you've got to tell this left arm that you need him. You need him to do a lot more of the work. You need to get the first thing when you say put the club down on the ground. Try to just don't look at your grip, do it by feel. I always think of a briefcase handle just there, and you're just going to pick up the briefcase with those 3 fingers there at the back. These don't do very much. So the same thing applies here. My arm is hanging comfortably straight, because it will do, centrifugal force, isn't it? If you just let your arms hang, they naturally just dangle. And actually then, as I put my left hand onto the club, my hand naturally, with the briefcase feeling in the fingers here, my thumb knuckle sort of kind of sits more on a slight angle across the grip, so it's actually a stronger grip. It's quite a modern grip these days. A lot of the players are tending to get very, very sort of, I'd say, 3 knuckle grips these days. You see, very rare to sort of see this. In the old days with the hickory shafts, they used to kind of have to try and use their hands to elevate the ball a little bit. So you'd see a lot more of this sort of swing in the old days, where they used to flap the club at the ball. Now the golf club technology and the golf balls is just, people don't appreciate how far it's come on. I see it myself with all the new clubs that come out all the time, how they progress every single line. And we don't need to help it up now, because they're already going to get it up. We just need to increase distance. So by putting it in the position where the arm is straight with the shaft to start with, so the left shoulder's high, the